Hello there, my name is Old Sauce Boss. Some people call me Bruce, and this is my new One Chunk Ironman. For those out of the loop, a One Chunk Ironman is an account where you are confined to a small area of the map and must complete everything in that area before being able to roll a new chunk. Before we talk about the new guy, we need to talk about maps. One of the greatest inventions in chunk history is the chunk map created by Source. Not only does it visualize the chunks and create those exciting moments when a chunker gets to roll a new chunk, it also provides a list of everything in the chunk, the food, monsters, stores, and it generates every single task in that chunk. What's your best in slot? Check the map. The training method for crafting? Check the map. This got me thinking, what if I didn't use the map? What if I threw it out and tried chunking just with my knowledge of the game and my past chunking experience? Could I do it? Well, that's what I decided to do. So let's try this again. Hello there. My name is Old Sauce Boss. Some people call me Bruce. And this is Hidden Tasks, my mapless One Chunk Ironman starting in the Tal Teklan region of Varlamore. So Bruce, how do you know if you finished a task? Great question. I've turned my map over to two great chunkers, Yari and Blu. I send them levels and items as I gain them, and they let me know if I completed a task or not. I chose Tal Teklan because I know nothing about it. I have pretty much paid no attention to Varlamore 3 outside of I know the Doom exists somewhere in here. There's a fletching event and a crab that kills hardcores. I have dodged a ton of content from amazing creators, so go check these creators out because I can't. Now, I'm not pretending like I know nothing about the game, like I don't have another chunker over in Keldegrim, but that's part of the challenge. Do I know enough to identify what's likely to be a task without my map or looking up drop tables? So let's jump into the rules. As I mentioned, I'm starting in Tal Teklan. Hidden Tasks is a semi-extreme Ironman. What does that mean? I have to do the highest processing skill tasks, all quests as far as I can proceed, any diaries, get best in slot, including prayer and skilling, obtain skill capes, and complete all relevant clogs. A few exceptions to make this a more enjoyable account. I only have to go for 1 in 16 drops for primaries, though I have no way of knowing what that drop rate is. So what that means, if a mind rune is a 1 in 15 drop, I would need to collect a bunch of mind runes to train magic. If a mind rune is a 1 in 32 drop, I don't need to collect mind runes to train magic. This is going to be a really hard part for my account, and I might accidentally bump into some grinds doing this because I don't know what the drop rates are. Now, if I needed to get something like a Draconic Visage, which is 1 in 5,000, that's still on the table because that's not a primary, that's a drop achievement, right? No partials, so no partial summer pie, anything like that. Farming will be passive, no implings, Puro or wandering. Why the exceptions? Well, one, Puro specifically would make this account an absolute nightmare. Imps, there's so many of them and they have so many drops, it'd be really hard to figure out what I'm supposed to do. Also, if you want to see me struggle with insane grinds, go check out my other account. I have a whole series basically dedicated to masochism where I've spent 1,600 hours just to leave my first chunk. The last piece of housekeeping, what if I get stuck? I'm giving myself 3 lifelines. The first and most notable is a source block, meaning I can choose one source of training or drops and block that singular thing. So I can block an item, I can block a monster, I can block an NPC, but I can't block like a whole region or something like that. I still don't know what my tasks are with this one, so it might be me guessing, and I might block something that's pointless or not a task. That being said, if I see a Hellhound and I'm level 20 with no ranged, I'm probably blocking the Hellhound because I don't want to have to go for the Smoldering Stone in that situation. This block is kind of similar to Blue's method he's using over on Tower of Blue. I can add a new item to the block, but must remove and immediately do the old block. This block can only be changed once a chunk. My other 2 lifelines are Yari and Blu tell me the task category. Is it a skill? Is it a best in slot? Is it a quest? Is it a diary? Whatever. And then last resort is having Yari and Blu just straight up tell me what the task is in case I get incredibly stuck. Once I've used these last 2, they're gone, and I can only regain them back by unblocking my current blocked task. So if I get stuck, I gotta unblock that Hellhound and go after it. I have zero interest in abusing this system because it really defeats the purpose of the game mode and it wouldn't be interesting to watch or play. So if you're reading this thinking of some loophole here where I could spam stuff and get all my I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not doing that. All right? I'm just not going to do that. All right. I think that's everything. Let's get into it. Before reaching my first chunk, I knocked out Rune Mysteries and Children of the Sun. You can't lamp rune crafting without Rune Mysteries, and I'm pretty sure that Moons require some rune crafting level, so I want to be able to train that. Children of the Sun allows us to reach farther more, so onwards we go. Here on out, we'll see you in the chunk. After a long trek, we finally made it to our first chunk. Out of the grayscale and into the colorful light. Now I gotta figure out what the heck what's in this chunk. This is really cool. This is really pretty. Oh my gosh. Okay, we have trees. I assume these are just normal trees. Interesting. We got some people, some guards. Ooh, pickpocketing. Okay. Well, I'm starting to get some ideas. We'll do a little walk around and see what we see. Okay, so what do we have? We have trees. We have guards we can pickpocket. Looks like there's a chicken here. So we definitely have food. We have an egg. Bucket. Okay. So I don't know if there's a range in here or not. We have a water source. Citizens. Are those like men? Can we pickpocket these guys? Let's do a little test run here. Turn run on. Okay, so that's level 1. So we can pickpocket the guards. You jot that down. Oh, is this our bank? Is this a bank booth? All right, so we're going to get rid of these. What else do we have here? We have so citizens, guards. I bet guards probably drop something. Ooh, we get to pet a dog. We're gonna go pet that dog. I pet that dog. All right, let's see. There's a range here. So we definitely have to at least cook chickens. Shopkeeper, what do you sell? Okay. So based off of this, we have an axe. So we can do regular trees for wood cutting / fire making. If there's anything to mine, we can mine. And potentially smith. If there's an anvil, we can do maybe some crafting. We have a chisel. Didn't call out the chisel. Bowl. I think we can do like eggs with a bowl, like scrambled eggs or something. We have a range to cook in. We have an altar to restore prayer. That's cool. Trade king. Oh, look at all the wine, stews, pies. Oh, heck yes. Okay, so we're good on food and such. I'm assuming a lot of these are boosts. I don't remember what for. Some of these give boosts. Like Sunbeam Ale boosts agility? That doesn't sound right. Child. Ooh, a macaw. Macaw. This feels like there's something here. Smart. Don't talk to strangers. Let's go outside the city and run around. This is a cool little city. Oh, flying squirrels. All the guards, they have like range guards. Oh my god. Is this a quest or something? Ooh, we have wagtails. Okay, you don't seem like you're doing well, but awesome. Pop off. Okay, we can't get over there. There are tropical wagtails, pitcher plants. Oh, that's cool. More trees. More trees. Tapir. We have some warlocks. I think so. Oh, okay, there it is. Mahogany tree. So we have to cut that and fletch it, right? I would assume. Can you burn mahogany logs? Let's see. Burning mahogany logs, level 50. That's the wood cutting level 250. I can use this. This is fine. Yeah, level 50. And then fletching. I have a knife, right? I think. Yes, I do. I do have one. I'll have to show my notes at some point. 61. Okay, so our probable tasks so far are wood cutting, 50 wood cutting, 50 fire making, 61 fletching, thieving for guards, 40 thieving. Okay, we have planks here. There's nothing else. There's no mining. I don't know what guards drop if they have a best in slot. No. Okay, so scrambled eggs is lower than I thought. I don't think we have a potato. So I'm going to go with stew is the highest level thing we can do. Wait, do we have a potato? Do you need a potato for stew? Maybe it's just level 1. I think it might just be level 1 cooking. Do you need a potato for stew? You do. Pickpocket farmer. Okay, so these guys have seeds. Oh, there's a fishing spot up there I missed. Did we have a net? What are you? Lure and bait. Okay, I don't think I can use that. I think what we're gonna submit as our first assumption, 50 wood cutting, 50 fire making, 61 fletching, 40 thieving, 1 cooking, and some best in slot from guards. I don't know. I'm sure they dropped something. I don't see anything else. Not 1 cooking, 13 cooking. There are a bunch of people I'm gonna have to talk to that don't seem to say much. I reread through my rules and I forgot about best in slot skilling. So the pickaxe and the axe are tasks. I feel like worth calling out is, assuming these guards have the same drop table as regular guards, I should really know what they drop. I just finished the guard drop table on Grim Chunker. I should really know what they drop. No clue. Absolutely no clue. I think we start with cooking. So we'll kill these chickens here. In inventory, go cook them. Our first level. I'm world hopping. It seems they can wander out of here. It seems like there's a chance they might spawn outside the chunk. I should probably wait and see. So this may not actually be a task. There's always one here. Yep, it definitely spawns over there. Do we bank on that though? No. Let's keep world hopping. What? I don't know what this is. What's Damania leaves? Damiana leaves. I didn't know chickens dropped beginner clues. Do all chickens do that? Full inventory? Let's go cook that. All right, first inventory, and we finish at level 5 cooking. Level 10 cooking. Level 12 cooking, 1 more level. So that's 13. So that's either the task, or there was never a task, or what's entering my brain is the imp spawn is here, and the task is level 20. For a meat pie because of, oh my god, would it be 58 for pita bread? Oh no. Oh, there's no way. I'm going to assume it's 13 or nothing. Those are the 2 options. Either way, we'll see if we completed a task. Informed that 13 cooking is not a task, so either it's higher because of imps, which I don't think is the case, or neither the imps or the chickens spawn in this chunk, which I think is the most likely case. So first thing I did was not a task. I think looking at what we have listed as tasks, we'll do a little bit of thieving because that's going to get us some coins. And just like that, we got 6 thieving and a bunch of coins to go buy stuff. I'm just going to buy everything from the store. This will also just help me remember like what all we have access to. 2 tasks complete. I think regular trees are the best we can do. Let's just fletch as we go. That feels like the best option. Is there a close tree? Are there multiple by each other somewhere? That it? Just these 3? 4? Okay, so there's like 4 here, 5 if you include that one. So what we'll do is we'll just cut these. Toucan. Cool. I like all the animals here. There doesn't appear to be any oaks or anything here, so it's regular trees all the way to 50, I guess. Level 5 wood cutting. Starting to get a hang of this. Feels good, I guess. I did have a thought that I should find out what these brews do. Okay, I'll buy one. Buy a sunbeam ale. Oh, that's expensive. Okay, these are expensive. I might need to come back to those. Okay, we'll buy one of those. I don't think any of these do anything. So strength bonus, cool. Agility and farming. Huh. So +1 to farming, cool. Right, these are all cheap. Let me just buy one of each and make sure. Strength, strength, strength. So I don't know what these 3 do. Once we get enough coins, we should come back and check. Our first of many fletching levels. Level 2. Level 10 woodcutting. Level 5 fletching. With 13 woodcutting. 15 woodcutting. 20 woodcutting. And 8 fletching. 10 fletching. I don't know why I said it like that. 10 fletching. Oh, 25 woodcutting. 15 fletching. Probably gonna have to do a lot of woodcutting to get the right level for this. Maybe at some point I should start making bows. It's obviously more XP, but then I have to drop them and I can't use them later. I think also potentially killing chickens could be an option, and getting feathers. I think that's honestly going to be slower, but I already have some feathers stocked up, so maybe I still do that. 30 wood cutting. Going to use some of the feathers from the chickens. Maybe I should kill chickens. Maybe that would make this... I don't know if that's faster or not. Probably more focus. But we should get this much faster. It's more XP per log than fletching is. So I think we should be able to get to 50 pretty easily. And then we'll woodcut and fletch however many shafts we get the rest of the way to 50. Then we'll get feathers and just see where that puts us at. 'Cause I think feathers is going to be faster and more XP. Level 10 fire making pretty quickly. It's only our second inventory. 15 fire making. 25 fire making. Halfway there, right? That's how that works, halfway there. 30 fire making. This is pretty chill so far, no complaints. 35 wood cutting. 35 fire making. I know what I'm doing. $40 fire making. This is nice. I like it. 45 fire making, only 5 levels left to go. And 45 wood cutting. I am still very concerned by these Damiana plants and leaves. It feels like the only thing in the chunk I really know nothing about. Maybe when I finish fire making I need to figure out. So far my thoughts are maybe they're ground up for herb lore, maybe they're used in cooking somehow. I don't remember if I have a pestle and mortar. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe they're a quest only item. I don't know. I feel like I need to try to see what they do. So after I finish fire making, that's my goal. And then also I've been getting fishing levels from Bob. You can't buy fishing equipment from the store, but I just need to confirm there's no other way to get fishing equipment in this chunk. Oh no. This is just what my brain's been doing. I was kind of on autopilot for the last week editing Crim Chunker. So now like I'm back at it in kind of full focus and like my brain's just running wild. Level 49. Oh my god. That's so good. That's got to be better than anything guards drop. Okay. So now we have to get 20 attack for that. But do the guards drop armor? I don't know. I'll send this over to Yari and Blu. There it is. 50 fire making. I believe that's the task. We can now burn mahogany logs. It's just the highest tree we have here. So yeah, once we can cut one down, we'll burn it. Send it over to Yari and Blu. I spent a lot of time thinking about what to do with these lamps, and I think it's best to just use them on Slayer. They would only save me like 2 hours on the fletching grind. It's not really worth it. So I think we're going to go ahead and just dump these into Slayer. All right, let's see if we can figure out what these do. Fragrant shrub. Nothing interesting. Nothing interesting. Can't cook that. Oh. Oh. It's used in a tea. 36 cooking. So that's why I didn't have the task complete. I need to be able to make this tea? Okay. Alright. We'll kill some more chickens and get some eggs and scramble them, I guess, and make tea. 50 fire making was a task. Let's go. Okay, so now we know, though, that we need the cooking level. And you get wood cutting, finally, and fletching to 61. This myth scimitar. And then is there armor from the guards? And we need to pickpocket the guards. Okay, let's kill some chickens to make these arrow shafts into headless arrows. And we'll go from there. What if guards drop a dagger? Then I would still need to get it, because that would be best in slot magic. The frustrating part is I just did the guard drop table on Grim Chunker like a few weeks ago. I should really know this. Do they drop a dagger? I think. Do they drop armor? I don't know. We'll find out eventually. 15 cooking. Woo. Levels. 20 cooking. 15 attack. Oh, hey, 25 cooking. That's cool. And we are now at 20 attack, which means we should be able to use mithril weaponry, which means we can use that myth scimitar. We're at 26 cooking. So now what we're going to do is we're going to send that over to Blue and Yari. And then we're going to go buy a bunch of bowls and world hop for eggs, because eggs should be better XP than chicken. And we'll get to 36 cooking. Look at all those chickens. 305. Okay, but we can now use this. Let's do that. Boom. Look at us. Absolute unit. Our weapon matches our hair. What we need to do is we need to go buy some bowls. We can buy, I don't know, 100 of these or so. We'll burn some along the way, and then we'll see where that gets us. I think we're going to need around 300 eggs, probably. Probably about the same amount as we had chickens. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? The chicken. So we could cook the egg. I hate myself. Got 119 bowls. Gonna go hop for eggs. We'll do some more pickpocketing if we end up needing more bowls. I hope this isn't like you need a quest to make this tea. That'd be so funny. That ended up being the case. But we're just gonna world hop for eggs. That's it. That's all we're doing. We are now cooking eggs. Burning a bunch of them. 27 cooking to kick it off. Alright, let's see how many of these we need. 30 cooking. We need more money for bowls, so we're going to pickpocket citizens and heal using our eggs, so we get bowls from that as well. Smart. We can thieve farmers now. I don't know if they drop coins or seeds, so we're going to figure that out. How much? 9. We'll do this for more XP and more money. I think around 700 will stop. 700 coins. Oh, they also give a potato seed. 13 thieving. Okay, we need to add potato seed to the list of things we have, because that's farming XP. So we can go buy bowls. 35 cooking, 1 level left. Sell glyphs. I needed to buy some more bowls, so I decided to pickpocket this farmer real quick. And 15 thieving. Let's go. We should get 36 cooking. And I think we can now do this. Okay. And that's the tea. I think that's a task. I think there's a 90% chance I invented myself a grind, since the chickens are not in my chunk. But hey, we did it. I think that's it. We'll send that over to Yari and Blu and find out. Now we have fletching and pickpocketing left. Let's use all these feathers and see how that goes. 20 fletching, 20 thieving, halfway there. 25 thieving. I sent over to Yari a couple different tasks, including 20 attack for the Myth Scimitar and the 36 cooking, and received back that I did complete 2 additional tasks, so we are good to go there. So I decided to just keep thieving until I ran out of food, like an inventory of food, not all my food. But we got around 5.8k and we have 29 thieving. We need 40 total, but we now have enough money that we can go here and we can finally buy these last 3 items. So the white, the red, the red. I don't know what any of these do. Will it tell me here? Okay, hold up, a lot of things. One sec, let me read this. Hit points, yes. +1 wood cutting, -1 fletching. So we could start cutting mahoganies early. I don't think that helps us. +1 rune craft? I don't think that helps us either for anything. You're definitely not in this chunk. Maybe later. Maybe like moons and stuff. I don't know. Because I know you need a runecraft level for moons, but I assume it's non-boostable. But you get like runecraft XP from something in moons. You kill things and you get stuff. Yeah, I know how to play this game, guys. But -1 fire making. Okay. And then +1 hunter. Oh, so we have a hunter boost. -1 slayer. Okay. Okay. I don't know if any of that's useful right now, but maybe it will be later on. I need to write that down. I'm going to add them to my bank so I don't forget I have them, but I'm also going to write it down. I do have stuff, so I need something a little bit more AFK. So I'm probably going to go chop trees and fletch them. Should I just make longbows? I feel like arrow shafts are better, but longbows are twice as much experience if I don't get feathers. If I get feathers, they're way more, but world hopping for chickens doesn't take a long time, but I just don't like doing it. 22. So then the question is, like, if I have these, I guess I just drop them then? There's no way they're worth anything. I'm gonna go back to wood cutting, my favorite activity. And then we'll do some fletching along the way. 48 wood cutting, 2 more levels, I assume, to be able to do the mahogany. If there's a hidden magic tree somewhere in this chunk, I'm gonna be so confused. Could you imagine if there was just like, I just pulled up the map and there was a tunnel somewhere that was just like, oh, there's like a bunch of underground magic trees. You know about the underground magic trees? Of course. That is my perpetual fear of this game mode, is like just straight up missing something. 49 wood cutting. I got a moon key? Okay. Guess we'll start saving those. You can open some chest with them. I don't know what the chest is. I don't know where it is either. Level 30 fletching. 50 wood cutting. Let's go. We can now cut a mahogany tree. I think this is the task. Let's go. We did it. I don't see any other trees here. This seems like the highest level. So we're going to send this over to Yari and Blu and see if it's the task. We still have a long way to go on fletching. Fletching is so much slower. Let's go ahead and formally finish this task. All right, where are we at? Let's grab the thermo box, the tinder box. And boom, we have officially lit it. There we go. So for me, the task is really about getting the level to be able to do the task. And that's why I sent fire making over a little bit early. I know some people may not like that, but like I'm going to get the log. And with this, I want to make sure I'm not doing unnecessary grinds. So just going ahead and sending it over when I get the actual level makes sense to me. It's kind of how I view Grim Chunker too, honestly. In all chunking, it's not the object, it's the skill that I'm trying to get. But I also sent over 50 wood cutting just now, and Yari confirmed that that was a skill task and that I did confuse him by doing fire making before wood cutting. Oops. 35 fletching. Hope this is where it caps. Like I said, I'm so afraid that it's going to be like, oh, you don't know? You go to the altar and you inspect it, and underneath it's a lever that you pull, and you go into a dungeon and it's full of magic redwood trees. Like, just keep expecting to think I'm finished and not be. As one of the weird parts of this style of play is like there's a little bit of an underlying fear that you're missing something important. There we go. That is 40 fletching. So we are back here. We're going to kill chickens, and I just want to see how many chickens and feathers I get in 15 minutes to see if maybe this is more worth it. You're always going to run into instances where you don't get chickens. Maybe I should be taking the bones and burying them at the very least. I'm not going to be taking raw chicken just because I don't think that's worth it. That's really going to slow it down, and I have other cooking methods that I can utilize. So it's more so just going to be hopping, finding chickens, and getting feathers. At the same time, I want to get strength and defense up to get those around 10, level 10, and just see how many feathers we get during that process. Got about 250 feathers, which means we get around 1,000 in an hour of doing this, and that's 1,000 XP an hour. So I think I'm still going to do this till 9 to 10, and then we'll do a more formal estimate on cutting trees. I think part of the issue is I'm not doing any of this particularly efficiently. I mean, this I actually was pretty dialed in. That's 10 strength. Let's flip over to defense. 10 defense. So now we're going to go cut trees for however long it takes us to cut about 67. So that'll put us at about 1,000 shafts made. I'm not going to make them into shafts. I'm still going to do the other way. And we'll see how long that takes, add it up, do the math, figure it out from there. Editor here, this was a really long ramble, but essentially longbows ended up being almost 3 times more experience than world hopping chickens for feathers, and I realized I wasn't going to do either one particularly efficient, so I would do the longbows because that's way easier than world hopping. You can see the math on the right hand side if you want to look at it. Abbreviated ramble. 55 wood cutting. Someone else was cutting the mahogany and they triggered a forestry. So I'm gonna do it, man. 45 with Rolaris. Why are there so many accessible trees that I'm not allowed to cut? I can't cut this tree. I can't cut this tree. I can reach them though, but there's a tree I'm supposed to be able to cut, and it's impossible to get there. Not just because of my chunk. It's just an impossible to reach tree, but they made it a choppable one anyways. Why does this exist? They should let you combine an axe and a halberd and chop from a distance. Just like a giant anime axe for wood cutting. Two-handed wood cutting axe. Like, this is my new game update. Jagex, contact me. 20 hit points, and I'm killing guards because honestly, I was trying to edit Grim Chunker, and I got to the part where I did the guard drop table like a month and a half ago, and I said, oh no, oh no, I can't do this. I can't do this. So here we are, killing guards. That is an iron dagger, which I'm thinking is a best in slot because this is my chunk knowledge. You may say, Bruce, you have a myth scimitar. Why do you need a dagger? Because daggers give +1 magic bonus, which means if you don't have a staff, a dagger is always your best magic item. Why? I don't know. I don't know why that's a thing. Like, the more and more I think about it, the less I think they have armor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it to the last task. So I heard back from Blue and Yari, and the dagger was in fact a task. I'm back on the debate over whether to save lamps and stuff for leveling fletching. This is much slower than I thought it was going to be. I did say it was like 3k XP an hour, which isn't too bad. I'm really bad at focusing in on this. This is not something that's like particularly fun to focus in on. So I'm getting like 2k XP an hour, I think, roughly. I got 60 wood cutting and forgot to clip it. Oh my god. That was so much fletching XP to get that random event. Shout out to Soccer and G.I. Joe, who I just met while cutting here because they were also cutting here. They're doing mahoganies like a normal human being would. And I'm just taking advantage of their forestry events as I'm hanging out in the forestry world because it's great. And they knew I wanted an Entling. So I literally walked away and I came back and it showed up shortly after I came back. And oh my gosh, that was a lot of XP all at once. We had another Entling event and it was probably, I think I got around 750 XP, give or take, from a single Entling event, which that's only going to get better the higher my fletching level goes because it scales with fletching level. No joke, that's like 20-25 minutes of cutting trees. We got the Forester event, which gives thieving XP, and we actually just hit 30 thieving from this, so that's all working well. I keep getting stunned because I'm not paying attention, and that's not great. 50 fletching, 11 more levels left. 65 wood cutting? I forgot this was a thing. These guys are doing things, so I do the forestry events when they show up, and I got the petal garland. Look at that. That's not a task because I don't have forestry unlocked, but hey, it's cool. Level 55 fletching. Just a note, you can only have one book of knowledge at a time. So I am going to go ahead and just like use that before I go into the random event, because if you don't get a new one. Okay, 70 wood cutting. Let's go. If you ever want just good vibes, come chop over here. Chop this mahogany tree. It's really close to a bank, so you're probably getting good mahogany log rates. And the people over here are really chill. Public chat, normally I'm not a public chat guy. I usually very much have it off. The people over here are really chill for the most part. You have one or two weirdos, but for the most part, it's just people chilling, chopping trees, occasionally holding a little bit of conversation. This one we should be at 58 fletching. I'm in a chunk and I'm chopping a tree. Chop a tree. Chopping a tree. I'm in a chunk and I'm chopping a tree. Chop a tree. Chopping a tree. 59 fletching. There's no way. There's no way. What? Isn't that super rare? I was barely even doing the event. No. Why did I drop logs? I need those. Oh my god. We are officially at 60 fletching. We are in the home straight for 61. I missed the actual level up because I was recording the wrong account. Now that we're level 60, we get to do the ultimate dopamine rush. For just under 10k XP all at once. That feels so good. Now we only have 18,000 left. We should be able to wrap this up. 73 wood cutting. I think that will be our last wood cutting level. After over 200 hours chopping regular trees, we are finally at 61 fletching. We can now fletch mahogany stalks. There it is. Oh, it feels so good. We got 15 loop halves. I think that's good. We got the fox whistle. That's pretty good. We are sitting at some headless arrows, which is nice. 32,000 anima bark. 21 bird's nests and some leaves that I was able to keep. And then also worth noting, we did get a bunch of thieving levels from the pheasant event. We got one level of hunter and one level of farming from the different events as well. So now we're going to go back down here to our favorite little room. Yari just told me that the fletching was a task complete. That's a task complete? Okay. All right, back to thieving. Thieving level 40. Which means we can come over here and we can pickpocket a guard and hopefully don't get smacked. Pickpocket a guard. Alright. I think that's our last task. He's typing. Said whelp. 9 out of 9. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. That's complete. We get to roll. We get to leave this chunk. So there's some mining up here. A dungeon. Bunch of dungeons. I think some of these might be gemstone crabs. I know that's a thing in the area. That'd be cool. That'd be some good training. I think getting a quest would be cool. Fully unlocking chickens would be nice. There's some stores over here. So a magic shop and an archery shop and a furnace. This feels like it'd be really nice to unlock before going elsewhere. I don't know what rocks are over here. So this might give us, let's see down here. This might give us actually some insane smithing grind later on. So maybe that's a bad idea, but it's not like these are far from a bank. I don't know what's here. So I think this one, 4656, is the chunk I most want to get. Then this one, because I think doing a quest would be cool. I don't know what the quest is over here. I guess I could hover scrambled. I don't know what that is or what it requires, but okay. Yeah, we're not doing any transportation, so I know this goes somewhere, I assume. We're not doing that. You have to be able to walk there. Unless this goes somewhere you can't walk. Oh my god. All right. Well, I gotta meet up with Yari at some point to roll, I guess. So what were the original tasks?
Okay, so you had attack level 20 to wield a mithril weapon, which was the scimitar.
Yes.
You had burn mahogany logs, fletch the mahogany stalk, and chop mahogany logs.
Okay.
Pickpocket a guard, obtain an iron dagger, and then for the skilling, the bronze axe and the bronze pickaxe.
So cooking was
no, it
not...
never existed.
So I knew, like, part of me knew that was the case because chickens wandered into the chunk. And I killed them, and then I watched where I killed a bunch of them, and then I was like, I should make sure these guys, because I was world hopping, so I didn't actually see where they spawned at. I was like, I should watch their spawn. And then I watched them spawn in the other chunk, and I was like, but what if one of them doesn't? Because there's like 15 chickens over there. So I was like, I'm just committing to this cooking grind. And then I got to scrambled eggs, and I was like, well, now I have a cooking method in my chunk because there's an egg. And then I was like, well, it's just scrambled eggs. And then I found out what Damiana leaves are, which are a thing only in this chunk, I guess. And I was like, oh, there's cooking associated with these. Cool. Great. So I think I hallucinated myself a task on that one. Good to know. The thing that scared me, and I was like, I'm just going to pretend like it's not in this chunk, is imps. Because imps have like infinite wander radius.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just going to hope the spawn of this imp that keeps showing up in my chunk is not in this chunk.
You got Talati Forest to the east. Yes.
Okay. That was the one that I was like, because the others, like, I can see there's a quest and some fishing spots, and I can see there's some shops, right, and some mining spots, and I'm like, okay, I have, like, there's going to be some interesting stuff over there. The Talati is just a dungeon and nothing else, so I have no clue what's in there, so...
Well, this will be fun.
Yeah, this will be fun. Thanks, man. I think that's everything. Go have fun streaming.
Yeah, and this is all, I can't wait to see what you guess.
Shout out to Yari for helping me with that and rolling. I guess we're going over to the rainforest to the east, and we're going to try to figure out what's next. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it, and remember to like, subscribe, all that stuff, and remember to take care of yourselves. After this, I'm going to just post a walkthrough of my notes because I think it's interesting. Stick around and watch that if you want to. If you don't, no worries. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon, I hope. These are my notes that I'm using to keep track of what's going on. So let's start up here actually with, like, I have my rules, And then so that I remember what all is in the thing, I'm keeping track of my tasks as they get completed. This is a software called Obsidian, by the way. It's a really nice note-taking thing. I've used it for D&D and stuff, so it's nice. Then I have my individual chunks. So this is chunk 1. And then I had my notes as I was kind of running through here originally. Then I took note and like logged what all is in every single, I don't know why this isn't a thing, but well, every single shop so that I could keep track of shops. I highlighted some monsters and NPCs. You can see some of my notes give same pleasantries as citizens. There are linked mentions. I have a lot of everything else linked back to chunk 1 because that's where it occurs. So it's nice for me to be able to check that. I put down what I thought my probable tasks were. So you can see like 13 cooking and stuff. I started to check them off as I did them. And then I was like, that doesn't make sense. We'll just use the official one. I have a thing for unknown items. So I can keep track of the things I wasn't sure of. So leaves, like Damiana leaves, I didn't know what they were. And I put like a few spitball ideas of what I thought they might be. I didn't know what the expensive alcohols did, but I didn't have money to buy them. So I was like, make sure I get gold and go back and buy them. That I didn't forget to do that. So that's why that's kind of its own note. And then we have skills. They're not all represented here, but you know, like I have that there's a plank and a hammer in here, and you can go to chunk 1 to get those. And farming, potato seeds are supplies I have available. And what's a more interesting one? Fletching. So it has a knife. We have logs. We have mahogany logs. We have feathers. Chickens wander into chunk 1. I think I originally had this as chickens in chunk 1. And then I realized I think they wander into. I was torn the whole time on what they actually did. I guess I'll find out soon. And then, yeah, some of these aren't filled out. Some of these I probably could add more stuff to. But they just give me a little bit of keeping track of different skills and what I have available to me. So I can go back and look for methodologies to train or things I might forget, like fishing. There's a lure bait spot here and feathers from chickens. So I just need a rod and the levels, and I can do that. And I actually already have the levels from Bob Randoms. So yeah, I just thought I'd give a little sneak peek of what my methodology looked like and kind of my note taking to keep track of what was going on and help me kind of figure some of this out.